Hey, everybody. Welcome to Open the Gates. I'm your host, Matt Burke. And tonight we're going to be having on JVP. He's going to be talking about his metal comic, Ruthless, or motion comic. So if you guys could give a warm welcome to JVP, that'd be fucking awesome. What's up, man?
Yes,
how you doing?
hello. We're not only opening the gates, we're going to kick them down today.
Very nice. Very nice. That's what I like, man. How's everything going, man?
Can't complain, man. Life's going good. Just put out Ruthless issue 2 last week, 2 weeks ago, and getting some great feedback and trying to get it some more exposure. So I appreciate you having me on. I found your channel. It was a weird path. So I I know Royce from A Drinker Crazy. He was an early supporter of Ruthless. I didn't meet, but
okay.
kind of connected with Bancroft, which connected with Joe Sontag, and then you had Joe Sontag on your show, which I backed Reaper Destroyer. And when I saw your channel, I was like, okay, sub. It's metal movies and brewskis. All right.
Easy. Yeah, I didn't even know you were around either, and I was because what you're dealing with, that's what that's on my wavelength, that's the voltage that I tune into. So
that's right.
Cool,
well, metal is underappreciated, so I'm trying to. I there's a lot of good metal bands out there, so I don't want to say that, but there could always be more. And I'm not a metal band, but it's a metal property. So.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I got this new drink right here. It's just picked it up. It's called Rope-A-Dope. It's a cinnamon whiskey. Just picked it up on. It's got a smoking skull and some fucking. I don't know. Look pretty cool. I don't really drink flavored whiskey. It's a little. I don't know, but it was $10, so I figured I'd try it out. And yeah,
price is right.
A little tipsy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just got a beer tonight. It's a weekday, so I just got a beer. But usually on the weekends, I'll have a little bit of bourbon. I like Makers or like Angel's Envy, something like that. So
that's good, man. Yeah, I like Makers is good. I like Bullet. Yeah, no, I just I tried this Rebel 100 a couple weeks back. That one was pretty good. But yeah, man, you got some sick ass guitars, man. You gotta meet Press. You know who Preston Azevedo is?
I've not heard of him.
Oh yeah, dude, he's a fucking badass artist, man. He's a homie. Me and him sometimes do a midnight metal shop on Mondays. Sometimes, usually we would do it every other week, but we're taking a little break right now. But usually we talk about metal album art, and yeah, he's a sick ass artist, bro. He's done a lot of comics and covers, and he's a guitar player too, and he's got some pretty dope piece guitars as well.
Yeah, let me before we leave after the stream ends, let me get his link so I can follow him wherever and check him out.
Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah. He's awesome, dude. He's got a lot of cool books coming out too. So yeah, man, you're are you into what type of comics do you normally pick up? As far as
so my comic. So I used to like I wasn't the biggest comic fan, but I had a pretty good collection of comics. My favorite comic was Wolverine Jungle Adventure. Ooh. It was Wolverine versus Apocalypse. I forget the guy's name, but the same guy that drew a lot of the Conan art did the art for that book, and I think that's why I liked it, because I like that 80s kind of.
Buscema, or
I can't recall. It was kind of almost like a Franzetta style artist.
Oh, Franzetta! Fuck yeah, man.
Style was it? Favorites. Oh yeah, absolutely. It wasn't Franzetta himself, but like that style of art. I love
Franzetta's so metal, dude. Like, yeah, like you think Man of War and everything,
Yeah. So yeah, I had a bunch of comics, and I had my pride and joy actually was my card collection. I had a bunch of it was all Marvel, but I had like every single Marvel character in a book. I had all their cards, their descriptions, just the art. I love the cards. I don't know what happened to the cards. I lost them, but my mother for some reason kept the books. And about, I want to say 4 years ago, she called me up. She's like, "John, I found your comics." Hey, Chris. And she's like, I found your comics. Do you want them? I'm like, not really. I don't read comics anymore. She's like, well, just come pick them up, take a look at them. So I picked them up and I looked at them, and I got like, a nostalgia shot. And I was like, these are pretty cool, but I'm like, I'm not going to read them. So I gave them away to a comic shop. And then like a year and a half later, Eric July, but before anything was released, when he announced the Ripperverse, and like I kind of knew that a lot of indies were going to be energized, just because you can kind of feel the energy. I started picking up independent comics, and then the kids. I think when I got ISOM 1 in the mail, I have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. The 8-year-old's a boy, 4-year-old's a girl. They saw the Ira cover, and they saw them, and they were both interested in the comics. I'm like, okay. So I started taking the kids to the comic shops and getting back issues. Nothing new.
Nice.
Then I would pick
some nice new shit out though.
Yeah, well, there's some cool. You can always pick up cool
like,
stuff in the comic shop.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I got back in from that, and I was doing music, and I was doing like scored audio books, but they were like a huge effort. It was all audio. It's like when you throw just audio at somebody and it's music and narration, it's too much. So it's like, let's add a visual element. Let's shorten it up, simplify it. We'll call it a heavy metal audio comic and promote it that way. And that's kind of how we got into it. But yeah, all my comics are either back issues or either Comicsgate or Iron Age. So I have like Kozor is my favorite indie comic, Barton Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. The artist that does the work for Ruthless, his name is Sean Stevens. He has a comic book called Red, a cyberpunk fairy tale. That's behind me too. A couple of comics behind me. But yeah, it's Comicsgate's great, man. It's good quality comics in there.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. We've been doing the Comicsgate thing for a while now, a few years. I put out a couple books too through CG, and man, it's just we're in a this whole revolution, man. There's just a lot, like you said, a lot of energy around it, in the indie sphere, and just a lot of cool. Like I was saying, one cool book I haven't picked it up yet is a Blood Dirk. It's kind of similar to like Conan. That one's in the shop. I haven't got it yet though, and that Axe Wielder John, that was another one. I got that one. I haven't done a flip through yet, but I wanted to check that out too. I don't know. And there's just like a thing too right now with the kind of like barbarian books are getting really big now. I love the barbarian stuff, the sword and sorcery, like the Conan and whatnot, man.
Yeah.
I could just keep picking those up. I could, just love seeing that stuff, man. I got your links in the chat, so you guys can come check out his channel. Yeah, dude. You got a favorite metal band?
Pantera. Yeah, Pantera is my all-time favorite. So the guitar in the center there, the black one, that's actually a Dimebag signature series. That guitar, I've had that guitar for 20 years. It's a Washburn. So if you don't know like Dimebag's history, the Dimebag's obviously the guitarist from Pantera. He was with Dean initially forever, and then he was with Washburn for a couple years in the middle, and then he went back to Dean. So like his Washburn signature series are kind of rare. So I just by pure luck and happenstance bought one 20 years ago, and it's still in pretty good condition. So that's what I use to record everything.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. But outside of Pantera, I would say.
Did you check out? Oh no, I was gonna say if you went and seen them live recently.
I was kind of against it, but somebody bought me tickets to see him. So I'm going to see Pantera and Lamb of God February 3rd in a couple days. I'm going to see him live, so we'll see how it is.
Oh fuck yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, I think that like I'm on this thing now where like I'm always going to go see metal bands, but it's like I can encourage people to go see bands just in general, or even stuff that you might not like, because a lot of these fuckers, they're going to be dead, dude. Like go see Scorpions, or you know what I mean? Like they're just simply not going to be around anymore. Go watch the Eagles, go see Journey, but yeah, I haven't been to a show in like 10 years, man. The last show I went to was Amon Amarth at the House of Blues. Me and the wife went. Yeah, I can't wait to start getting going back into shows, dude. It's fucking so fun. I don't know, man. And metal shows are usually pretty good price too. I remember seeing like, because for the House of Blues, it was like $40. Like if it was a special, if you buy dinner, you get to meet the band, and they give you like a poster before the show. Really? And I don't know, I was like, that's pretty cool. I get some chicken strips and some mashed potatoes, and go meet them on Amarth, give me a poster, and say what up, and then then all these cool bands would play. And I don't know. I heard that that Ozfest might be coming back too. I think that might kind of cool. I went to the one in 2005. There was a lot of really cool bands, because I'm really into the whole like Gothenburg sound, a lot of the Scandinavian metal and shit like that. And that year, like they played. So they played, Iron Maiden played, Slipknot played, Rob Zombie played, Mastodon played. Like all these fucking bands played, dude. It was a pretty big year. I couldn't even
lineup.
Yeah, like In Flames played, Soilwork played. Dude, I can't even name all the bands. It was just so fucking many. Shadows Fall, like it was just like the sickest year. But big metalcore time. Like yeah, I don't know. so many bands, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But
I can't remember what year I went to Ozfest. This is when we were playing in our band. So our band, we were never signed. We had a couple of offers, but if we signed them, we would have been poor. Like you just would have toured for no money.
yeah, sucks,
but we were pretty big down here. We played the Hard Rock. We started the band, but I also I kind of did the managing part. We all kind of wrote together. So like when it was like private, in our practice shed, it was all equal. But outside of that, like I would do the promotion, setting up the shows and stuff like that. So I kind of ran the show from that perspective. And I quickly realized that if we wanted to get exposure, we'd have to headline the shows, which meant we have to create them, right? So I started doing that, and then I thought of a show called Medal of Models, and we ended up having 4 of them. And that really blew us up. The first one really kind of gave us some credibility. Second one, we had at the Hard Rock. Third one, we had at the Hard Rock down here in Hollywood, Florida. Those were pretty big. That connected us with the local radio station. And the fourth one, we had at a club called Revolution down here, which is like one of the bigger metal clubs. And I forgot why I went on this tangent, but it was just a lot of. I mean, it was just a blast, man. It was a different time. It's not like today. I took a long break from shows too, and 2 years ago I saw Overkill as my first show in like 10 years, and I love Overkill. Overkill's like my 3rd favorite metal band of all time. And I just had so much fun. Man,
hard.
Pantera. I would have to say Dio. He's not as heavy, but
Dio. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's like, for me, I'm a metal stan. I like all styles of metal. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I'm just more. Yeah, dude, his shit's so fucking epic and so underrated, and just he's so powerful. His vocals, and just I really just need to get in, and like we did his album art too on Metal Shop. I need to get in there and just fucking listen to that fool, man. He's so powerful. The voice and the lyrics, dude, just fucking so cool. The journey, like the quest you go on, the epicness of it.
He's one of the greatest frontmen of all time. Did you? They came out with a Dio documentary like a year ago. Did you see that?
No, man. I seen a little tidbit of the Metal Evolution one. The trendy one. It was a good fucking thing though. That 11-hour one that Dunn did or whatever from Banger TV. I don't know if you're subbed to Banger TV, but that dude. They did a little thing with Dio on there, and he's talking about the horns and shit,
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this from my grandma, I'm like, that's pretty cool, But that documentary is pretty cool, dude. You know what I've noticed too? I don't know if you've noticed, but we're gonna go on some metal tangents right here, but that's what we do here.
I'm game.
Metal bands, they're on YouTube. So you have a like I'm not really into Sabaton that much, but they got a couple good songs, so I subbed to their channel, and I noticed they have a 24-hour live stream. They're always playing their songs, all the time. I don't know if and then Nuclear Blast now, dude, they're always playing music 24/7. So I'm like, dude, that's fucking cool. Like, I think that's kind of like Headbangers Ball, but it's just 24/7, And there's people in the chats like, what up? So now I'm starting to go into there, to say what up, like it's just kind of cool. Like it's a 24/7 like. Just like music videos of metal, like different bands and record labels. And I don't remember it being like that like 2 years ago. It's just something that kind of started last year or a couple months ago. So now I'm just dipping into different bands, like YouTube's different record metal label things. It's kind of cool, man. And I'm trying to like tap into that a little more and kind of bring those guys over to check out more of like the indie comics, because metal and comics, they go together, man. It's fucking
hell
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a match made in heaven. That what you're describing kind of reminds me of what was it, Headbangers Ball on MTV2.
Yeah,
remember that back in the day?
Dude. Because like Headbangers Ball, like the first one, that was like the very first, like the with Ricky Rockman and whatnot. Like that was before my time. And then they had the second Headbangers Ball, like the resurgence of it. That was my time. That was back in like 2005 or whatnot. And I think Jamie Josta. It kicked off with Rob Zombie hosting it, and then Jamie Josta started hosting it, and there's a lot of fucking cool bands in there, and like I don't know, man. That was kind of when like Killswitch was blowing up. The whole Boston metalcore scene was really blowing up. The Gothenburg scene was blowing up, and that was my time. And like everybody was kind of phasing out of new metal. Like everyone's kind of all right, what's this shit over here? You know, what's this metalcore shit? And where did they get that? Oh, they're over here in the fucking cold up in Scandinavia. So, well, what's up, Sim? That's my boy Sim right there. What's up, brother?
Hello.
You got to check him out, man. He's a badass fucking artist. It's really cool books. Blood Hunt, Tales from the Natverse, fucking metalhead like us. He's dropping by to say hi. Now back to work. Watching a cool movie. Cool, man. Yeah, Sim's awesome, dude. He's done probably more fan art than anybody. He's done more fan art for Comicsgate books and indie books than anybody I've ever seen in the movement. So
really,
and he's fucking badass artist. Yeah, he's the homie. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. He just subbed to you.
I will hunt you down after the stream and sub back.
Yeah, he's done art for my books too, and yeah, he's awesome, man. I gotta know, man. You got a favorite movie?
Yeah. So my top, I'll give you my top three.
Fuck yeah, there we go.
Goodfellas is probably number one.
I got that movie. Very big influence on me.
I've probably seen it 50, 60 times. I don't even know how many times I've seen it. It's a lot. Every time it's on, I will watch it till the end.
It's a repeat offender, bro.
Yeah. And then number two is Predator. OG Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm a Predator stan. I love them all.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't love them all.
But that movie's just different.
Yeah, that first one holds up. Yeah, holds up till today, and it's just a simple action, almost kind of action horror movie. It's just perfect. It's a perfectly paced action
sci-fi action horror movie. Best action sci-fi horror, and I think I mean, I could be wrong, but to me, it's the first one. You know, it's like the first sci-fi action horror movie. You know, done right at least. You know, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I actually did. I went through a little stage with covers and actually covered Predator. I redid all the orchestral parts in the beginning and then added the heavy metal when it kicked in.
Oh yeah, cool. Dude, I love that, man. I love looking for metal, like see if people covered like scores like the metal. Like, did someone cover Batman Begins? Did someone cover fucking Basil Polidoris's Conan the Barbarian? Like, oh yeah, it's right there. You know, I'm always just like looking to see, did someone cover RoboCop's theme? It's fucking dope, man. You got that on your channel or what?
It's on my channel. I think it might be my biggest video, the Predator cover. But dude, when I was doing that, when I was doing that cover, like Alan Silvestri did the score for Predator, and I didn't realize how good of a composer he was until like I was listening to it and like all the time changes and signature. I'm like, man, this is a lot more complex than I ever thought it was. Like, doing it, so I gained a lot of respect for Alan Silvestri. He's one of the greats.
One of my favorites is Basil Polidoris. Just, I mean, come from RoboCop and Terminator. Like, I just love what he did with that. There's like the scene I don't know if you've listened to the whole RoboCop score, but like the scene where he's like, it's all like fucking, all killer, no filler. But the scene like in the movie where he's going to see his family or going to the house where where he lived, just so. It's really melancholic. It pulls at the strings, and it's longer on the score, and just the way it drops and it builds back up. Love that song. Another cool one is the Bram Stoker's Dracula. Very, dude. It's like top two. I mean, I love that. Lord of the Rings, Bram Stoker's Dracula, great score. I always forget the guy's name.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, Inkslayer. That's and what was the third movie? Your third favorite movie?
Third one's Army of Darkness. Also very underrated score.
Oh yeah, dude. With a couple dudes, it's Danny Elfman and I forgot the other guy who does the score on there, but because I know Danny did the March of the Dead. That's my favorite franchise, bro. What did you think? Did you ever watch Ash versus Evil Dead, the TV show?
Oh, it was great. I loved it. I can't believe that thing got canceled.
There's like a multitude of reasons they were saying, like Campbell was saying that like it was the most illegally downloaded show ever. Then he was saying another thing that he was just like pissed about it. Then he was saying that like he, didn't want to do it anymore. Like he was tired, So I hope he comes back though, man. I hope he comes back. And he was in Army of Darkness. He already had stuntmen. Like if you watch the special features, there's a scene where he's running to like a wind tower, or a windmill, and it's not him. He's like, that's a stuntman right there. That's not even me doing it. I got a stuntman running over there. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So it's like, well, dude, just fucking have a stuntman do the new shit, bro. you know, and you can be old and it's going to be even cooler. Like, I like seeing these old, like aged characters, you know, like Old Man Logan, you know, Gran Torino, Sisu. Then I don't know if you've seen Sisu.
Oh, awesome. Sisu's awesome.
That movie just came out. So good. It's like the best movie I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pirated as fuck. Yeah, that's what he was saying, Sim.
Yeah, I think part of his complaint was they were like locked in with stars, and I guess there was some funny stuff with the promotion of it. He felt like it could have been bigger than what it was. He felt like they were locked down and they didn't get the exposure or credibility that they should have. Which, I mean, they probably would have if they were able to kind of shop that around to a streaming service. That would have been a huge show. But I get it, you know.
Yeah, I think from the get, dude, it could have been a little bigger, you know. It's like a lot of people, it's kind of a beast of like hard thing to market because it's basically like the sequel to Darkness, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously it's all the same shit but remade in the same, and we all know the story, but I don't know, man. I think if they would have like the sequel to Army of Darkness, like kind of marketed it that way and maybe put it on like maybe Netflix or, you know, Prime or Hulu or something kind of bigger, you know, than Stars. Like, you know, Stars doesn't have anything really. It's not really, you know, it's not a big name. I mean, we know Stars, it's been around for fucking ever, but it's still like doesn't have that zing like those other big networks probably, you know. Maybe that would have helped a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the
Ritz
too.
I appreciate that. It's the Ritz Cola of HBO and Showtime. That's what Stars is. So
100%, man. It's I don't know. I mean, I had to get Stars to watch Sisu, and then I canceled it like last week because there's nothing on there, you know. Like I was just, and I got Prime for like a month or so just to watch Reacher, you know, because I thought that show was pretty cool.
Yeah, Reacher's pretty good. I'll say this though about Army of Dark, you know, the retirement of the Ash character for Army of Darkness. The lead character in Ruthless, his name is Ash, and the reason why we did that is because you have, you know, Ash from Evil Dead retiring as a character, and then they retired Ash from Pokemon as a character. So I don't think there's a property out there right now with a good, strong lead character named Ash. So it's like, okay, we're grabbing it now. It's a very opportune time for us.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. Ash is an awesome name. Still to this day, lots of fans don't even know it exists, sadly. Okay, I'm about to watch one of the mentioned movies. All right, brother. Thanks again for stopping by, Sim, and thanks for dropping those links. And yeah, brother. What's up, Ghost Cat? They should have went to YouTube route and like Cobra Kai. Yeah, I mean, that could have been cool. Oh, yeah, there was also the fact that they waited too long to release the DVD set. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a bunch of unfortunate stuff, but I guess that's life.
Like for me, I never expected, like I always wanted just like one more thing with Evil Dead. I didn't care what I got as long as Ash was in there, you know. And I was happy with that one pilot, that first pilot that Sam Raimi shot. If that was all that I got, I would have been fucking happy with it. You know what I mean? But I got 3 seasons, dude, so I can't really complain too much. I mean, that finale, like last scene, was fucking dope, dude. Like people are dropping stuff on Twitter, like they're like showing like the Christian Bale Batmobile, you know, the Ben Affleck Batmobile, the Keaton Batmobile, Ash's Batmobile. They just have Ash's car from like that last scene, you know, in there in the tweet. And I'm like, that's fucking dope, dude.
Did you ever see the alternate ending to Army of Darkness? There was an alternate ending where he doesn't go back to his time; he goes to the future. That's what that scene reminded me of. He was in his car, yeah, and it was,
pimped
it was
out
just
like
a throwback,
better version.
Yes,
I fucking love that, man. It's funny you like that too, man. Like, I still need to see the Doctor Strange movie because I love Sam Raimi movies too, man. Big influence on me, just the way he like, even when I set up panels when I'm drawing, and Evil Dead, just the whole like splat stick, you know, and the first movie's straight up horror. The second movie is splat stick, you know, you get that Three Stooges, Monty Python humor. And then the third movie is just kind of, you know, Jason and the Argonauts, you know what I mean? Like, was it Roger Corman kind of, and what's the other director? I forget his name. Harryhausen. It's like a nod to that, you know, action adventure, you know, and as a kid, like I always would go back, finding myself watching the Army of Darkness. But I guess I like the second one. Is like now, like if you ask me now, I'd probably like the second one's my favorite. Probably.
Evil Dead 2.
But I don't know, man. It's hard. It depends on what day of the week it is, man. Definitely 2 or 3. but the first one's the scariest for sure. What did you see? The new one. Did you see the new Evil Dead Rise?
I didn't see that one yet. I saw the Evil Dead remake with Fede, I believe Fede Alvarez, I think, was the director. I didn't think that was bad. I liked it. There was a lot of blood, obviously, but
yeah, it was good, dude. Fucking solid.
Yeah,
you know,
it was definitely missing a little bit of the charm of Sam Raimi because he didn't direct it, and Sam Raimi's so iconic with how he just directs stuff. Like Spider-Man 2 is probably the greatest superhero movie of all time.
That's a good argument. That's a good argument.
Yeah. I just go back and rewatch it. It is so Sam Raimi, like when Dr. Octopus is coming to like Peter and Mary Jane are in the cafe. It's kind of maybe starting the third act of the movie, and they're talking, and Doc Octopus comes in. Just like the shots, the camera shots. It's like, this is so Raimi. It's ridiculous, but it's the best. Yeah. And you haven't
like the whole scene, the transformation scene.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like in the hospital, you know, like all those cuts, you know what I mean? We're like, you know, all the, I don't know. That was like full Evil Dead mode.
Yeah. You haven't seen Multiverse of Madness yet, you said?
Nah, man. Like I heard, like, just, I'm not that guy, you know what I mean? That takes people's advice until like the last 5 years, you know, like if it's a bunch of fucking, a lot of woke shit in it, you know, like I could take a couple things here and there. It's not going to hold the movie up too bad, but I don't know. There was a lot of shit in there. I heard. I was just like, oh man, this is horrible. Like I kind of checked out after, I think the last thing I watched was Moon Knight, and I thought that Oscar Isaacs did a great job in there. But Moon Knight, the actual, you know, in costume, he was only in there like for a few minutes of the whole show, you know. But man, I was really just fuck, dude. They like really fucked up. What was it, Love and Blunder or whatever? I watched that last night because it was free. I was like, I'll watch it because I don't know. I like the Viking shit, and I know it's Marvel Thor, and it's not really. It's Kirby, but they really just fucking mutated that and put in a lot of stupid lines that shouldn't have been in there. You know, talking about orgies and shit. Like, dude, you shouldn't be talking about that for a kid's movie. They say it 3 times in the movie too. You know, and it's like, why the fuck are you talking about that shit? Like, nah, dude, get that shit out of here, bro. This is supposed to be for kids, you know.
I know, yeah.
It's just dumb, dude.
Yeah, Multiverse of Madness. You can tell him, Sam Raimi was very handcuffed. There will be stuff that shines through, and you'll be like, "Yes, Raimi," and then it goes away. Like there's some highlights in that movie where you get real excited. Where I got real excited, but you can tell he was just handcuffed to the gills, and it's disappointing because that movie, like the potential of that movie, if they said, "Okay, you're in 100% control of how you want to direct this, give us a Sam Raimi movie," it probably could have been excellent, but it's just
I think it would have been really epic, dude. Like if it was like 15 years ago, oh man, he would have fucked that thing up, bro. It would have been sick. The Evil Dead Rise, that movie was fucking awesome, dude. I mean, again, it's got little bit of this, a little bit of shit here and there, but it was pretty fucking dope. I ain't gonna lie. Bruce Campbell's in there. He plays the actual doctor that's reading from the Kandorian, like, you know, Bible or whatnot. And they're playing him talking, you know.
Nice.
So that's the way he's in the movie that way. But I mean, I've had this talk, I think, with Sim before. Like for Evil Dead to have someone like Ash, you have to have someone better than Ash, and that's going to be fucking hard. You know, you can't have someone equally as good as him. He has to really, barely equally, like almost better than him, or just straight up fucking way better than him. You know, for me, like the one thing that I recommended is maybe they could get Mandy. The red character from Mandy, which is the Nicolas Cage movie. I don't know if you've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could step into the Evil Dead verse, and I would be cool with that. I could watch a couple movies of him killing some deadites. But other than that, man, you can't really. I don't know, man. Like I'm not really, you know. I don't know. That movie was cool though, dude. It was a cool one-off. It had cool little they put some little Jumanji-esque shit in there to kind of like, ooh, they read something in the book and then. Like a monster, you know, like a bestiary chapter, and then the monster pops up, or they turn into said deadite, you know. So it was definitely worth the watch, bro. Hard recommend.
Yeah, I definitely have to watch it. It's on my list. It's just been, it's hard, man. Like you said, without Bruce Campbell is just such an iconic, original personality, just as a person, and it just comes across on the camera. It's hard to replace that.
It's hard, and it's like, man, dude, like. and so there's that, right? And again, Evil Dead's that's my favorite franchise. It's my favorite IP. You know, I still need to go back and buy all the comics. I never even bought all the comics. That's something I want to do for Dynamite.
I didn't even know there were comics. Wait a minute,
dude. No, check them out. Check out. There's YouTube lore.
Man.
There's YouTube lore videos on that. They have the Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. That was like the one that I wanted to get, and they were supposed to make a movie of that, but they never went down.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Like I don't know. I think that the Evil Dead verse is so rich too unto itself. It's so fucking rich that you don't need Ash, but you do. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's a hard thing, but it's just like I played all the video games, and it's so rich, dude. Just the whole idea of the Deadites, all the cool creatures and stuff. You could take Ash out, and it would be cool. It wouldn't be as cool. Like so, like again, you got to get someone that's like almost as good as him or better than him. You know, I would shoot for better than him, which is impossible. Which is an impossible feat. You know, like again, I could watch Red going in there with this big axe and chopping pulls up. I could watch a movie of that. Yeah, I could do that. But other than that, it's like fuck. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, Evil Dead's not just a horror franchise, right? You need to have your, outside of one. I think 2 had some more comedic elements in it, if I'm remembering correctly. But
yeah,
outside of 1, yeah, you need your comedy there, and it has to be well balanced.
Mm-hmm.
By the Ghost Cat is that's my little brother and narrator of Ruthless and co-writer.
Oh, fuck yeah, man! You're a fucking killer, bro. I love your vocals. We're about to jump right into that here in a minute. Yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome. I do have to disagree with you on one thing though. I think the one thing that they brought, the one thing to the lore was the multiple Necronomicons, and they all look different. So that was the thing about the new movie is there's 3 Necronomicons. So you have the one from all the other movies and TV shows, and then you have the new one. Other than that, that's all they got. That's all they got, which is kind of cool, but it ain't nothing crazy.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler! No, I gotta watch it.
I gotta watch it, dude.
Now.
You gotta watch it.
I know, but so yeah, if you do Evil Dead, you gotta have the horror. You have to have the action too. At this point, you have to have action. You've got to throw a chainsaw 100%. In there. Like, you've got to capture all the magic that Sam Raimi used to capture with it. It's not just a horror movie. So, 3 books.
No one ever said anything about 3 books. Plata, Verata. I love that shit. I got a ash this big in my garage, man. Big old fucking, nice. You know that big McFarlane ash? I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah.
The Todd McFarlane one. Still got it in the wrapper. I have like Bad Ash, you know. I got the Bad Ash, and I love Bad Ash too. He's cool, and I have a little Ash too. I don't know. Back then, McFarlane was the only one that made the cool toys that looked that dope, you know.
Yeah, he's a legend, McFarlane, man. Just his style is perfect. He was a big influence on me, man.
Whatchamacallit, he's doing this thing now called Spawnuary. It's actually going to come to an end. I don't know if you heard about it, but it's kind of been blown up on Twitters and whatnot and social media, where each week he's going to pick a fan art of Spawn, and anybody in the world can enter. It could be a pro or just a regular person. And the first week was Spawn. The second week was the Gunslinger Spawn. The third week was Scorch, and the fourth week was Spawn Villain. So you can draw one of those, and he's going to pick 4 people, man. He's going to make one of them the cover in 4 of the spring issues, you know. So
that's
cool.
Awesome, man. That's awesome to give somebody a chance to get on a fucking Spawn cover. That's pretty cool.
4, yeah. I did a piece too for it, man. Brian was pushing me. He was like, dude, you need to do that shit, man. I was like, all right. So like I did a little video, and then it's pretty fun. I went back and looked for that Iced Earth Spawn, because Iced Earth did a Spawn concept album back in the Dizzy. And I was like, listen to the tracks, like, damn, I want to pick one of these songs, you know. And yeah, it's pretty cool concept heavy metal album, you know. Yeah. And then the Spawn movie soundtrack was pretty cool too. They kind of mix like alternative metal with electronica. I don't know if you remember that back in the day.
Oh yeah. I'm not the biggest Spawn fan. I think I had 1 or 2 Spawn comics when I was young. I've seen the series, the original cartoon series and the movie. Let me ask you this. Oh yeah, the series was awesome. When the movie came out, was that because again, I don't know Spawn lore like Army of Darkness or Evil Dead. Was that movie kind of shit on as like not being accurate to the series or not? Because I always kind of liked the movie, but I thought I heard people that didn't like how they did the movie.
So to be honest with you, man, I think like when the movie came out, like I wasn't really back then. It was more like message boards and shit like that. You know what I mean? It was so long ago. So they're really like for me to know about the complaints about it. You know, everyone was just kind of like, dude, a fucking Spawn movie. And like the commercials, like from my take, everybody kind of liked the movie. You know, but then as it aged, they were kind of like, you know, the Melboja scenes are kind of whack, and then some of the scenes. But you know, in retrospect, I think the movie's cool. You know, I've watched it probably like 15 times, you know, because at the time, like during that time, there wasn't shit, bro. There wasn't nothing. And then Blade came out and just fucked everybody up. And still, like Blade is still Blade 1 and 2 are still my favorite Marvel movies to this day, you know, respectively. And then probably Edward Norton Hulk, Thor, and Winter Soldier. I like those ones a lot. And Avengers and Avengers Infinity War is pretty cool.
Yeah. Blade rocked my world when I first saw that, man. Blade's 4 on my list of 3. Blade's like it barely can't get there. It's awesome.
The first one, the second one too, man. I put him like right there. Like the first one's so fucking street, you know, just going around getting the familiars, just fucking fools up. And then the second one gets a little more epic. He gets the team. The you know, pop culture is kind of really introduced to Guillermo del Toro. I know I was, and I was introduced to Hellboy from that movie. Got on the Hellboy message boards, you know, Guillermo del Toro would be on there, you know, talking about shit. We were talking metal on there. That was funny too. I was like, check out In Flames, like check out Another Day in Quicksand. And he responded, yeah, that song's pretty cool. I'm like, there's some relations to Hellboy with the lyrics in the song. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy how things kind of lead one way, you know, because that movie they had a Demi Borgir did some of the, they're in the couple of the in one of the trailers, you know what I mean? For the first Progenies of the Great Apocalypse, that shit just kind of hit, you know. And I remember seeing them too. They did a pretty good show with Devil Driver. That band's pretty dope.
Yeah,
you probably like Devil. You probably like Devil Driver, I think.
Not so. I'm more of like a thrash. Yeah, more of like a thrash groove metal. Devil Driver's good. They weren't my favorite though. But yeah, that's going back to like high school. Devil Driver's been around for a long time.
Forever. Because I was gonna say you probably like them because you like Pantera, and they kind of morphed into groove after a while, you know, because that first album they did was kind of like death metal psychobilly, like like kind of weird, dude. And then the second one got a little more like kind of like the Gothenburg sound a little bit, and by like the third or fourth album they started getting more into the Pantera-esque sounding shit, more groove, you know. And then now it's a little different, but they do a lot of groove stuff. Like I would say they got some solid bangers in there. But yeah, man, the Evil Dead game, I don't know if you played that, but they have like all these characters in there. The new one, like they have like King Arthur in there, and I think Eric the Red, all the dudes from the TV show. Like it's the multiplayer one. I haven't got it yet, but I want to pick it out. I don't know. Have you played it?
I haven't played it. I don't play much video games anymore. If any, I'll play like some Switch with the kids, like Smash Brothers or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. That's an awesome one. It's an awesome game on the Switch. But I saw clips of the game when it was coming out. It looks awesome. I'd love to play it.
It looks fun,
I don't
dude.
think
I love to play
Switch,
it.
So yeah.
I was like, for me, I don't play. Like I got PlayStation 4, man, and I just don't play it anymore. Like, and then I just was using it for streaming, and then it just stopped working. I was like, what the fuck? I don't even play video games on here, and now it just turned off. So I had to unplug it. But I was playing God of War, and like I had a few games, Spider-Man, but I never even played that. And then it was just like, damn, I want to play this Evil Dead game, but I can't even. You know, I need to buy like a new system for one game. Because to be honest with you, man, I'm always working on like comics and commissions, and I actually still do metal too. You know, me and my buddy Dave, we got a band, and so
nice.
I'm working on that too. You know, so and then I have a full-time job, and it just work. It's all action. You know, so don't really have time to play the video games at the moment. But I want to play that game because I played all the old Evil Dead games. Like fuck them all. One of
the shitty things about getting old, not enough time to play video games anymore.
Yeah, man. And then I got kids, so I try to help out with the homeschooling as much as I can, you know. And yeah, dude, it's a lot, you know. For sure, man. Well, talking a little bit about metal, I want to share your channel, bro, and we could talk about the ruthlessness of it.
Sure. Wherever you want to lead me, I'll go.
For sure. I got it right here. I'm just going to go ahead and share it. So you're out in Florida, huh?
South Florida, yes. Not a very metal place, so.
No, actually, no, it's pretty metal, man. Florida is. I mean, all the death metal came out of there.
Yeah, not South Florida. It used to be at different times. Now I was speaking about going to shows, and we'll come back to this, but I was looking after I went to see Overkill. I'm like, I want to see a local show.
Yeah.
I used to play out locally here. We had a great scene when we were playing out. I could not find a local show where a metal band was playing. Not one. I searched and searched for weeks. A little disappointing.
Sucks, huh? I mean,
yeah.
And it's weird too, because like you step away from like the scene and you come back and there's all this shit, you know what I mean, that you don't even know, like what the fuck's going on. Yeah. Like it feels a little different, right? Like right now, like the big dudes like Slaughter to Prevail. You heard of those guys?
No.
Check that guy out, Alex the Terrible. They're from Russia. That dude gets down. He does like fucking vocals without the microphone. You can hear him. He throws it down and he's like, shh, and sucking like, rah, 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 like all fucking.
Oh shit.
Yeah, pretty dope, dude. He's got it, and then he'll like battle other like singers, like doing the death metal throat shit, you know. And like for me, like I'm a vocalist, you know, so I could kind of respect the stuff that he does and like what it takes to do that, you know. So it's like, man, he's got some, you know, he's got some pretty cool little techniques, you know what I mean? Like it's always cool to hear new things, you know. But yeah, check him out, man. He's got a pretty cool channel. Ivan the Terrible, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard all the music, but the song is called Viking. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. It kind of remind me of like the music kind of reminds me of like old school Slipknot, but mixed with death metal. Okay. Let's see here.
Yeah, that first Slipknot album was pretty influential on me too.
That first Slipknot album just like that dude. Okay, so like Devil Driver, man, that dude, like he's one of my favorite singers too, and metal lyricist, you know, singer from Devil Driver. I mean, Dez, and I really like the first couple albums. He's really, I don't know, man, just like just sounds a little different, like even more brutal, you know. But he's got some cool, like just down to earth lyrics, and I've seen him on a couple that I forgot his name. The singer of Machine Head has a really good YouTube channel where he interviews all these different people in metal, you know. And he had a interview with him, and he was just like talking about a lot of crazy stuff on there. I recommend that. It's pretty cool.
I gotta check it out. Machine Head rocks, man. They're a great band.
I think they got better too with age. They got more technical and just a lot more melodies and a lot more guitar work. And I don't know, it's pretty cool. But yeah, man. I wanted to show let's see here, some of these videos, bro.
Let's go. My channel is a mix of. Oh, go ahead.
I was thinking about showing maybe like one of the trailers. Let's see here. You got the trailer for the first issue too, huh?
Yeah, first issue. I'd probably skip to the second issue because the trailer kind of sums everything up. So the first issue, when we did it, it was the first time me and my brother were kind of putting together audio with the visual elements, and it came out good. There's a lot of charm. The concept's strong, but you know, first times we have to work through it. By the time we got the Ruthless 2, we're like, okay, we're gonna do this, and this differently, and we just knew exactly how to attack it. So not to shit on my own product, but if I were to recommend any listening order, I would say go to the second issue of Ruthless first. Listen to that. There's a recap at the beginning, so it catches you up on all the story beats. Watch that, and if you like it, then go back and watch the first one, and you'll see what I mean. And I think if you do like the second one and go back and watch the first one, you'll be like, holy shit, you know, you realize the jump in quality. I think that'll make you even more excited for the third one because we take this pretty serious. We want to put out a good product that's entertaining.
Like, to me, I'm gonna be fully honest with you, man. Like, I really liked the first issue a lot. That's what really like got me into the fucking story. And then I the second one too, fucking dope. I love like the detail like that he goes into. Or you're the writer, correct?
So it's a weird process. So like I write the story and I write the original. It's really not even dialogue, but I write the original wording, and I write that as I write the music to lock it in as much as possible. It's almost like I'm trying to score a movie that's not a movie. And then I flip that to my brother because he's a better writer, and he'll go back and rewrite all the dialogue so it's entertaining. And because he narrates it too, he can rewrite it in a way where he knows he'll say it in a more entertaining way. So that's the process. Like I kind of say, like, here's a description of what happens and make it entertaining, and then he does a good job of that.
So you don't lock it down like with chains. It's an amorphous artistic process.
Yes.
It's kind of free flowing and breathing like a beast and like a living animal. I like that, man. That's fucking awesome. That's kind of like the Marvel method for comic book creating, you know, like the writer writes something and then he or she, you know, gives it to the artist and then they kind of interpret rather than, you know, panel 1, worm's eye view, you know, like all these details, you know what I mean? You got to draw specifically that. Or in the Marvel method's like, yeah, they walk into a room and, you know, something happens. It doesn't have all these little camera angles and all this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it gives the artist room to breathe. And in this regard, you're both artists doing different things, you know, through music and through storytelling. That's fucking cool, man. I haven't really seen anything like this before. I love the whole backdrop of this story. I love the lore that's setting it up. It's also reminds me of old school radio, like The Shadow, you know. But you know, I could listen to it and like I'm sitting there listening to it, drawing my book, you know, my next book, Hell War, and I was just like, wow, man, I can't wait for the next issue, you know. But for people that don't know, this is going to be the trailer right here, so you guys can, you know, see what it's all about. Are you ready?
We're ready. Let's go. By the way, before you press play, Hell War sounds like an awesome story. I want to know more about that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'll tell you about it. Let's check this out. It's all about Ruthless right now, baby.
In the final days of 2022, the world was introduced to a tale unlike any other. That tale was called a heavy metal audio comic about a man named Ash and his guitar weapon, Shredder. One man searching for his family at the end of the world. In 2023, the story continues. You gotta be ruthless! You gotta be ruthless! You gotta be ruthless! You gotta be ruthless! Live, kill, die! Coming soon.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking metal as fuck, man.
Well, the soundtrack's metal, but we also tried to inject a lot of metal into the story. The story itself is a love letter to heavy metal, and the overall theme of the story is how inspiration attracts people, which you can kind of start seeing in the second one, and that's going to ramp up over time. But it's really just even though it's like a visual product too, and there's narration, and we have the comic lettering on there. Really, the heart of it is the audio.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like it all too. But like again, I could break off and read and listen to it. I'm looking at my phone. I'm sitting in my dad chair, and because I draw with my board, you know. So I'm drawing and I'm listening and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's fucked up, man. You know, like what happens to him and where he's at. He's been there a fucking year, so he knows a little bit, you know, but not a whole lot. And what's happened to his family, and then he has to do something. He's taking on a new responsibility. You know what I mean? Which is kind of hard for him, but not too hard. But still, it's fucking hard for him. The scene where he's sorry.
No, go ahead.
Where he's building his shredder, man. I think the name is perfect for a multitude of reasons, and his name Ash is perfect, dude, for a multitude of reasons. I love the design, dude, of his weapon, man. It's fucking awesome. I love the character, man. I'd love to draw him someday. But just like the whole bat that you put in there, you know, and then the saws, you know, and like he's speaking, you know, I got to get my sawzall and like everything, you know, he's talking about all the shit that he needs to build it. And the detail, man. I love like the details that you guys put in. It's like listening to the radio, but also reading or listening to an audiobook at the same time. You know, a lot of people are really big on audiobooks, and I like this too because you got the art too, man. It's like just a fucking perfect like, you know, bond of both, you know.
Yeah, with the guitar building scene in the first issue, like, you know, I was born in 83. I'm 40 years old. When you watch like the great action movies from that time, there's always a scene. It's not mine is at the beginning, but you know, there's like in Commando with the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
he breaks in the weapons
dude.
store and he's just throwing fucking rocket launchers in the sharpened card. I'm like, I want a scene like that, but when he builds his weapon, because the weapon is like the main character 1B and Ash's main character 1A. Like that's because Ash is a real simple design, right? He's the everyday heavy metal guy. He's got the long hair, the beard, the black top, and the jean pants. You go to a metal show and every dude is wearing a black shirt and jean pants, right? So that's I wanted Ash to be like the everyman heavy metal guy, but there's not a lot of detail in that. So the detail's all in his weapon. That's what gives him his character is his weapon. So
no, that's cool, man. It kind of reminds me of totally different side quest. Like that movie Bram Stoker's Dracula. I know I was talking about earlier again, but that movie they were saying that the costumes were the sets. So in that movie, like, you know, he's got that badass fucking, you know, like armored, like plated, you know, Vlad the Impaler wolf armor, you know, and then he's a bat and then he's a wolf, and it's got this crazy like elaborate thing. And they're characters in the fucking movie. They're so big, even like RoboCop's suit, you know, like Ash's chainsaw, you know. In Evil Dead, you know, there's Mandy, you know, the weapon that he has in there that he fucking forges. That's another cool scene, you know. I don't know, man. Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, you know, that's a big fucking character, you know. I don't know. I love weapons too, though. So it's cool seeing what people are gonna do. And there's things. There's another thing I want to talk about. I know we're all over the place with you is comics. Heavy metal characters in comics, and now it's turning into a genre, bro. It's a genre now, like metal, like it's a thing now. Like it's pretty fucking cool. Where you usually have like a dude with like a guitar fucking some fools up with it, you know. And I love it. To me, it's like Superman's cape. You know, you're gonna have like the superhero and he's gonna have a cape, but now you got a metalhead and he's got his fucking guitar. He's going around, you know, slashing fools up. You know, I love it. And I love seeing like who's gonna bring what to the table with their character, man. Because I don't know. And what you guys did was something I didn't even think of. The fucking bat is the neck. You know, all the saws coming around, the pocket knife with the fucking the pocket knives. It's so cool.
Yeah, and we have ideas for like how to upgrade it as the story continues, like what to do to that weapon to upgrade it. So it's gonna evolve with the story. But you know, there's the line. I forget what movie the line's in, but it's a famous line. But they said, every good sword needs a name.
Yes,
I think it's Game of Thrones, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Probably even Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. It might have been from there too, because like they always had names. You know what I mean? They have to. They really do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just little simple things to add character to the smaller elements of your story, instead of trying to, because you know, I'm not really necessarily a writer. This is the first thing I've ever written. That's why. Oh,
you're a writer, man. Do you read books? Do you read a lot of books?
Yeah, I not anymore. Like I'll read the independent properties that I buy. I used to be a huge R.A. Salvatore fan.
Oh, Driss,
are you a D&D guy? Yeah, Driss is.
Dude. My buddy. Sorry. Continue.
No, go ahead.
My buddy Miguel, man, he gave me the fucking first 2 graphic novels, and that was just like, and it was just, you know, it was just a fucking, but dude, it just blew my mind, you know?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't nothing crazy, but just the way that the art was nothing crazy or nothing, but I fucking loved it, man. It really like just kind of drew me in, and then I don't know. And now I'm reading fuck, man, forgot his name, Elric, the BD ones from France. They're dope, man. I got like the first 4, but yeah, dude, I love Drist, man. I've got a lot of characters I've designed, and that book was in worlds I've thought of, and fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, I used to be a big D&D nerd. I started playing when I was 15, second edition, which is the best edition. And I have not read all the Drist books. I'm probably be halfway in, maybe a little under halfway, but there's a lot of Drist books. But
no shit.
I liked R.A. Salvatore's writing style because he had a lot of heart in the non-action scenes. But then when he got to the action scenes, it was a lot more about description, so the reader can paint the picture of what the action scene looked like in their head. And I think we take a similar approach when it comes to our action scenes. I hope, I would not compare us to R.A. Salvatore, but I hope there's a little bit of that element in there because I always liked that, the way he did it.
Well, it's like I love the descriptiveness of it, and the specificity of it in your stuff specifically. Not R.A. Salvatore's cool too, but I like how the details, I mean, keep doing it. I mean, for me, like I love what you guys are doing with that, like the details of how he's taking these fools out, when I don't want to spoil nothing, but the moves that he's pulling off on these guys, he's trying to save somebody. I'll say that, like, oh he's doing that. Oh, okay. And in my comp, again, that kind of falls back to like action movies and Evil Dead. And for me, like, I'm really into that type of stuff, like the gags, like how they're beating someone's ass and what, like the move, and even in wrestling and fighting, and how are they going to do that, and what's a cool gag that they're going to do, and how are they going to pull it off. So doing it in writing, that I think that's just as cool, and maybe even harder to a certain degree. I know that I don't know. I'm thinking about that stuff, and it's just cool, just cool hearing it spoken and delivered.
Yeah, I feel like we get to cheat a little bit because we have the narration, we have the music, and we have the art. And when I put this all together, I try and think of at what point can the art be in front? At one point should the narration be in the front? At what point should the music be in front? Like, where can I drop things out and bring them back together so I can give the whole thing an ebb and flow? I can make it a roller coaster, right? So when we're in an action scene, and like a non-action scene, the dialogue, we try and make it a bit funny, add some levity, make it comical, have people laugh. But when we get to the action scene, it gets more serious. It's a little bit more straightforward, descriptive. There's some interesting stuff in there, but I think because at that point I can bring the music, as far as the intensity of the music, way up. Yes. So I can add character through the music, have the narration just describe how the action scene is going, and then ebb and flow with that, right? So I think we get to cheat a little bit because we have so many elements to play with, and as long as we balance it right, we can get away with it.
No, I think what you're doing is fucking awesome, man. And it's kind of like watching or writing a good horror story. You know what I mean? You come in, you fucking scare the fuck out of them. You maybe do your jump scare, or maybe you just do something subtly to where they're just fucked up and scared. They don't want, they want to turn the lights on, then you bring in the joke, you start making them laugh and shit. And then, boom, you hit them with the fucking scary shit. They got a clean palette, and then boom, you hit them with that scary shit or whatnot, or their action, and it just kind of, I don't know. It gives it that cool, it's just good storytelling, man. It's just good storytelling. And what you guys are doing, man, there's no one out there doing that specifically what you're doing right now. And I think you guys are onto something. It's dope, man. Everyone that's watching and it's going to watch on the replay, dude, you guys got a sub. Go watch these. I'm sorry, what were you saying? My bad.
No, you're good. I appreciate that. What you said. It's shit. I lost my response now. You go. I'll think of it.
I don't know, man. I'm really I'm trying to watch it, and I'm into the second issue halfway through. I had to stop it, because I'm want to be in the mode, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, come here, daddy, so I'm like, all right, I gotta put it down, but just for me, and I just I love Metalocalypse. I don't know if you ever played the I'm just a metal stand, even just a lot of stuff is just based off of like heavy metal album covers and things like that, just metalldom in itself, man. Brutal Legend, I don't know if you ever played that game. Fucking beautiful game. Yeah, I love that stuff. And it's just weird, man. Just seeing a lot of this stuff start to come around, and what you guys are doing, no one's done that. And I don't know.
Yeah,
I just think it's really cool.
I think what makes what gives us an advantage, if somebody sits through and watches it, have you ever seen the Berserk motion comic on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, good job. And and when I say better visuals, I don't mean from the art perspective, because Sean Stevens is a great artist. It's more of a knock on me and my editing skills. because my editing skills aren't the best. I invest a lot of care into editing, but I'm also not an editor, right? So I think what gives us the advantage, if you watch that Guts motion or the Berserk motion comic on YouTube, it's awesome. Like visually, what they do with it is, from an editing perspective, is way better than what I'm doing with Ruthless, and I'll fully admit that. But whatever they have in the background, as far as like narration or any music they have, it probably sounds like just stuff that they're pulling. It's not custom made. It's not like when I write the music for this.
Metal.
It's not metal either. But when I write the music for this, I approach it like I'm scoring a movie. Like I want the cues of the music to line up with the narration and the sound effects and the art and the action letters that I pop on the screen. I want that all to be really tight. So I think from an audio perspective, ours is tighter than something like that.
Oh yeah.
Berserk audio comic, even though I can understand why somebody would watch that and be like, oh, that's a better quality than Ruthless. Visually it is, as far as the editing and how they present it, it's beautiful. But I think from the audio perspective, I think that's where our advantage is, because we write everything at once. So it locks in. So,
and I definitely know like metalheads are going to love and appreciate this, man. Like all the, like the way that you're describing the ebb and flow, and then the marriage. And then, I mean, hopefully they're watching this video, man. They could, know about like the process in which you do it, So as far as like the story goes, like the whole idea behind it, who came up with the first initial concept, like of the idea of it, like the world and whatnot?
Yeah, that was me. So before we did Ruthless, me and my brother was creating a tabletop game called Project Full Blade. And we released it, got some decent feedback, some of it rough, tried to redo it, and we both kind of just ran out of steam. But something we were doing to accompany the tabletop game was scored audiobooks of a story that's set in that tabletop game. So like we were talking about the Driss books, how the Driss books are based on D&D, right? We were trying to do something like that with our tabletop, but instead of it being a book, it was like a scored audiobook. The story that my brother wrote, that was his story. The story he did is fantastic. My music is not that great. We just kind of started getting back into writing music, and he wanted to get into writing and voice acting. So like if you listen to those for the story, that's but you have to kind of forgive my music because it's not as good as Ruthless, right? So but we started out there, and then we kind of ran out of steam, and we were kind of just like in limbo, and I'm like, man, we kind of need a project, because we've been creative for 20 years. We were both in the bands. We've been creating stuff together forever, So I just came up with Ruthless. He was really busy at the time, so he couldn't invest a lot of time other than doing a narration. So I just kind of came up with everything. I said, let's do post-apocalyptic, because I always love post-apocalyptic stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like a post-apocalyptic story is the best kind of story for a new writer to approach, because you can have a lot of happenstance in a post-apocalyptic story. Like if there's no worldwide communication, like everything does kind of happen, and you want to avoid that as much as possible, but you can get away with it more. So I felt like it was a cheat code for me to do that type of story. Obviously metal's going to roll into that. Obviously we can add the horror elements. We can add the brutality. Like it just all seemed to click and line up. So it really just came together quick. Like the Ruthless, the name of it, just instantly in my head, it's like, we're calling this Ruthless. That's the name of it. So it all really came together pretty fast once we decided.
I love that too, man. And I like the fact too that like, I'm not real big, like and that's one thing I kind of don't like about modern just stories and multimedia in general. It's like everyone has to pull out the phone, and then you start seeing like the text on the screen, or in the panel, actually in the comic book you're reading. I'm like, dude, I don't want to read your text when I'm watching the movie or when I'm reading the comic, So like personally, me, like for my books, I have them like in the 90s or like, or a post-apocalyptic or a Western or something. So that's cool, man. That's and post-apocalyptic, man, you can't go wrong. And I think Westerns kind of basically are very similar to that too, because it's just out in the middle of nowhere with nothing, What I was wondering, man, when's the next issue gonna drop?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So we would like to get at least 2 issues out a year. So the first one took us about 6 months to do. It was released December of 2022, and we started production for issue 2 in March of last year. Took me about 3 months to do the soundtrack. Some kind of hiccups in my personal life delayed it, so that's on me. But we're pretty confident that if we take 6 months for every issue, which we're going to start.
Solid.
Yeah, we're like doing some pre-writing now, but heavy production is going to start in February for issue 3. If we can hit one every 6 months, I think that will be often enough to keep us somewhat relevant and give us enough time to deliver the increased quality which each issue that we want to deliver. So I think that's going to be a good balance. So that's the goal.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I think 1 and 2 are equally as good. And I do see I just see it getting better and better. You know what I mean? Even with the second issue, you know what I mean? And I think that every 6 months is fucking awesome, dude. That time goes by like that. You know what I mean? And your issues are long. Isn't the first one like 20 minutes or something like that? The second one's like a half an hour almost.
First one's 17, second one's 24 minutes. And that includes like we do a recap, the intro, the outro. So that takes like a minute, so 23 minutes. But yeah, it's we want to keep it around 20 minutes. And the reason why we keep it around that time, and the reason why it's free is because as an indie creator, I feel it's kind of hard to not necessarily from a money perspective, and it is hard to get somebody's money, but to have you don't want just somebody to pay for a book and not read it. You want them to read it and give you feedback so you can kind of take that back and do something with it. And it's really hard to get someone to invest their time into, especially like a novel, which is going to take you a week to read. I'm a slow reader, so it'll take me a long time to read a book. But with our product, it's
me too.
Yeah, it's like it's 24 minutes. It's not that big of a commitment. You could watch it in one sitting and be done with it and move on with your life. So it's a way to try and attract people of, hey, this isn't a big commitment. It's like 20 minutes of fun, and it's free because the reason why it's free is to really kind of build our name and get it out there and get the exposure. I feel like charging for digital media where somebody can't hold physical media, because I love physical media too. So like doing a digital media product kind of goes against that for me, but it's the only way for us to do this. And I feel like charging it for it is it would just kill the exposure of it. So I think this is the right balance until we kind of see if we can get some eyes on it and see what the feedback is.
Oh yeah, man. I hope you guys keep doing it. I would, back this in a heartbeat. I would back a comic book of this in a heartbeat. A video game, a movie, an album, where just like a concept album, with your brother singing and you doing all the instruments or however you guys work it out. I don't know. You get a full band. Yeah, dude. Like it's dope. I love it. Fucking metal as fuck. I think that like every 6 months is cool, man. It also keeps people hungry for it, And 6 months go. I mean, I'm the same age as you. I'm 40, born in '83, And for me, the years for me the years go by quick, man. Like I feel like 4 weeks, 4 months feels like about a month.
Yes,
I mean almost something like that. Like how do I say it? Like a month feels like 2 weeks, I guess. It's kind of like 1 month it'll feel like 2 weeks for me. Like it just goes by so fast, dude. And I'm out of nowhere. I'm just like, oh shit, where did the year go?
Yep.
But I don't know. I know I'm gonna be looking forward to this, man, all the time. And yeah, I'm gonna be spreading the word about Ruthless. I got another question for you though, man. What's your favorite beer?
Well, I guess my go-to is good old American Yinling. We've always been drinking Yinling, but my favorite beer of all time is it's a beer called Weihenstephaner. It's the oldest brewery in Germany, and they have a Christgau and a Dunkel. Those are really good. I like Devill. I like German and Belgium typically if I don't drink American. So
that's funny, man. That's my favorite brewery. Well, I mean, my favorite beer is from that brewery too. I like Vitus. Have you had theirs?
Vitus is good. Vitus is good. Absolutely.
That's my favorite. But I'll drink all their shit, man. I love all their shit.
The quality of that beer is
like that. What's that other one? Corbanian or something like that. It's got like a Pope on it or something, or like oh my God, it's so good. Anything Weihenstephaner. Well, dude, man, like Germany, man, like that's like the top place now, like for my traveling like goals that I want to go to, like probably in the next 10 years, hopefully, or less. Like, but they have like Wacken, you know, they got Oktoberfest. They got all those breweries. They got the castles. They have the Black Forest. They have the I don't know, man. They're just so much stuff. Oh, they have the oldest Viking village that's still intact. The most like legit one in the world, even over Scandinavia. Yeah. I forgot the name of it. It starts with a B, but it's, you know, and it was Vikings that settled that town in Germany. So I'm just like, it starts with a B. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, I want to go. I want to take like a month and just go there.
Did you ever have you ever seen a picture of the Weihenstephaner brewery, the actual like the central brewery in Germany? It looks like a castle. It looks like a castle that you can stay in. Yeah,
probably.
I would love to visit that.
Oh, I would go there for sure, dude. Most definitely, man.
Yeah,
for sure,
man.
That's
funny that you like Venice.
Oh yeah, dude. That stuff's super bomb, dude. Like that's always my go-to, man. And they got those big bottles too. Those and they're like 7%, you know. And I always tell people like Hefeweizen, you know, because most people are kind of like, you know, not really. I'm over it. That was like the pyramid and like the shock top shit, you know, and Blue Moon, you know. But I'm like, okay, cool. We'll check out Vitus because it's like a dark Hefeweizen, you know, and it's really it's delicious, you know.
You're like, check out this real one.
Yeah, right.
Forget all the imposters you mentioned.
It's not sugar and piss. And lately I haven't been drinking as much beer because usually I'll do like a review of a book I've backed and then I'll pair it up with a beer, you know. Yeah, now lately I've been switching over to like rye and, you know, rum and bourbons and stuff, and just kind of saving the beers for maybe barbecues and reviews, you know. It's just, I don't know. Just trying to switch it up a little bit now for fun.
Yeah, I can't stuff. I just like a little bit. I just like a couple and that's it, because I can't recoup like I used to. So I take drinking at a very slower pace now.
It's different, man. I mean, because you're the same age, like it hurts, you know, like straight up. The next day, like that shit fucking hurts. Fun. Man. No, it's not, dude. Well, shit, man. JVP, thanks for coming on, man. I'd love to have you on again, man. For Ruthless 3. We could talk about some more stuff. Where can people find you, brother?
Yeah, it's real simple. YouTube and Twitter. JVP Music. You search for either or on either one of those platforms. That's where you follow me. I'll probably have like a central site at some point, but right now I'm just keeping it simple, getting it out there, trying to build my platforms, and that's it. And thanks for having me on, man. This was fun, and anytime you want me back on, I'd be back.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Likewise. If you're ever live streaming or whatnot, I'll be there too, man. And man, go check him out. And everybody, thanks for watching. Go check out Ruthless. Link should be in the chat. And always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. I'll see you guys later. Bye.